Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just going to get centered and relax into our bodies. It's Sunday night. We've had a big couple of days, energetic shifts and such. We're going to be releasing those pinpoints and kind of pushing them not away, but into observation rather than focus. Observation rather than focus. All right. We're slowing the energy down right now. We're slowing the energy down because we've asked for an awful lot. A lot of it's come through. And it's very telling how it's showing up and how we're showing up for it. So, depending on the story that you're telling yourself, obviously, this is going to be the experience that you have. I spent a lot of time with Spirit today, and it was very beneficial for me. We talked about many things, and understanding how beautiful each of us is in our own rendition of being a human, and in what we bring to the table, and cherishing that in ourselves and in one another, and the beauty of us being able to come together in those understandings. That's what I feel is transpiring a lot in our society. When we focus in that direction, when we are focused in I heard an artist pronounce scarcity, and I was like, oh, that is so much more poignant and accurate, right? So we tell ourselves a story. The story that we're feeling perpetuates the experience of the story. So depending on the story that you're telling is whether or not you're deciding if it's a good experience or a bad experience. The idea is to really sit in the energy of it and not pick it apart. You don't want to pick it apart. You just want to kind of become the energy, where you just kind of sit in the energy and you allow your energy, your sovereignty, right, your understanding, to begin to connect to all that is. I like to connect to all that is. I am all that is. I'm a direct representation of all that is. Why beat around the bush? Right? And then imagining, because like sometimes when we move into what we perceive as a grandiose, unattainable, that might be good for other people, but not for us, energy, it'll feel like limitation. It'll feel like a cap. If you feel pressure in this area, you're at the edge, the leading edge of expansion. In order for all of us on the thread to experience this expression of ease, okay, we must allow ourselves to believe that our beliefs are enough. See how that eases? That our beliefs are enough. Whatever your belief is, that is enough. Enough to keep you safe, enough to guide you in the right direction. And if a belief feels stifled, smothering, then that's probably not very good, right? So those are the beliefs that you'll pop up first. Go through them. See if you need them anymore. They served a purpose for a long time. None of them are wrong. Is it beneficial to you now? Does it reflect who you are now? You don't have to deep dive. You're not going to be given that kind of time any longer. This particular retrograde that we're experiencing has a lot to do with how we feel about the physical aspects of life and what we think about life spiritually. This particular transit with Venus and Mercury in retrograde is giving us pause, right? Just before they enter into Pisces, right? And we get a taste of what's to come. Right. Talking to Pluto on the way in Aquarius. Okay, get it? So it's all thought energy and feeling energy. Thought and feeling, a lot of air and water energy. So think about how you would like to flow your energy. Imagine yourself as a current. You're the magic. Your energy, the way you direct it, that's the magic. Maybe direct is too formal of a word for you to accept. Maybe it's too much accountability and responsibility. Maybe play would be an easier word. The amount of energy you play with throughout the day, that you put a little balloon of energy over here so this group is good. You put a little balloon of energy over here so this group is good. You put a little balloon of energy where you're working so that things get better, right? That's still directing energy. You're just more accepting of directing energy in that capacity. Still doing the same shit. So the idea is to come into like your heart space to support the childlike nature that feels free. That one, the one that feels free. And if she doesn't feel free, then she needs to be heard. Oh, that was some deep work today. All right. And I'm here now, and I'm so grateful that everything lined up the way that it did. Moving forward with our channel for this evening, they're encouraging me to make sure that I allow you to understand that this isn't an admonishment as much as it is a check, right? So you're checking yourself to see if you're in harmony with what you're asking for. Are you asking for something here and providing something over here where it's not or where it won't be? So you just have to align to what you've asked for. Find out if you've asked for maybe too much and say, oh, okay, so I want it kind of like this instead. All right, so that it feels manageable, because things are coming in very rapidly. And we'll tell ourselves things like, oh, I don't think that. And that's the minute that we lose the thread of what we've asked for. And in order to find that, we have to work through whatever that doubt was. We have to accept that that doubt is a story, that we made it up, that we shot ourselves in the foot, self-sabotaged ourselves, and like, okay, so what does it look like now? It's going to look a lot different. And we need to go through those adventures of self so that we grow as we expand. So no two experiences have ever been the same, and that's what they're meant to be. They're meant to be very expansive and accumulative at the same time. So as we go through this, we become and become and become, and allowing ourselves to understand that we choose it by vibration. Those vibrations are frequency. The frequency would be relative to what we call feelings. The feelings are generated through a thought combination and the heart brain picking an emotion, using our emotional regulatory system in our body that we have DNA that lets us do, and then generating a feeling behind it to propel it wherever, so that our whole body gets the message. And it's very energetic, because it signals through all of the electrical components in our body, through all of the conduits, through all of the many elemental aspects that we are, what it is that we're wanting in that moment. And we're shooting off possibly two desires at the same time. Like we have duality in mind. We will naturally, we will know both sides of the coin. And depending on how we feel relative to the desire, right? Which one we're more guided toward or pulled toward or engaged with or focused with, right? That's where we'll begin our experience. So duality is present in everything, in every experience, even in the messages, right? Give yourself the benefit of doubt. Know that grounding is going to be key at these particular moments, because the magnetic of you needs to get aligned with the magnetic of Earth. Earth is very prevalent in everyone's vibration right now. So is air. In that, fire and water are creating belief systems right before your very eyes. Yesterday, you may have thought that life worked a certain way, and then today it works differently. You're absolutely right. It's bendable. It's bendable. Reality is bendable. It is what you make it to be. It isn't about manifesting. It's about creating. It's about creating a story of something that you want to experience that has little bells and whistles in it of tasks that you feel that you need to accomplish in order to win the expectation or result at the end of the adventure. And that's not necessarily what you're truly manifesting as much as what you're truly manifesting, because your energy is already there. You've already experienced it because you're in this supposition of, ooh, I wonder what it'd be like. So your energy is telling you what it'd be like. And you're like, ooh, let me catch up. And if you're focused in that direction, you can have the physical experience of it as well as the energetic experience of it, that you personally are creating reciprocity with the universe, with universal energy, with the laws of the universe, with divine energy, with chi, with Reiki, with life force energy, the animation of life. Because there's a thought of how you're connecting and what you're connecting to in that intention. That intention is what powers your ask. Your belief tells the energy how to behave. And the energy takes on and then amplifies this intention. If you continue to hold on to the intention and you don't let it go, right, into the energetic field that you've called, right, forward, so that something will work for you, you're going to hold on to it and it's going to continue to gather energy. All right. It will continue to gather energy, and then any wobbles that you may have that come in from that, and continue to gather, and then create from a very closed, limited space, rather than a higher consciousness, expansive generation of space or spaciousness, however you'd like to say that. Knowing our hearts helps us to articulate what we would like to feel and walk into for the next experience. If we are dissatisfied in the current choices that we're experiencing, it's a situation. It's merely a situation. Sure, there's feelings involved, a lot of feelings. We're generating them, and that's perpetuating the experience. But let's let go of feelings for a moment. Okay? Let's let go of feelings for a moment. What are you embodying personally in that experience? What are you generating energetically? What frequency are you putting into that experience? If the frequency that you're generating through a feeling, okay, in there, is dissatisfactory to you. That's why they say, well, you're doing it to yourself. Okay? And it's hard to get out of it. It's hard to get out of it once it's started. Once that loop has started, you have to dig and find out, right? Depending on how you hold it. Let's say you don't hold it that much. You're just like, it's fine. And then the behavior that supports that particular vibration continues to show up and there's no change. And then you ask yourself, why am I self-sabotaging myself? Why is this occurring? And mostly it's because maybe you haven't given yourself time to talk to you and be heard, right? Like, oh man, that was crazy. I had to go through this, and then you listen to yourself. You just listen and you love yourself in that moment for whatever you had to experience, right? It's not going to change the experience. It's going to change how you store the experience energetically in your body. That changes how you access energy, period. They really want you to get this. They really want you to get this. The story that you tell yourself gets stored in the cells of your body. Depending on how exhilarating and enthusiastic you are about the experience, is how you tell the story to your body. Your body is an avid listener, and both brains, both thoughtful brains, your cranial brain and your heart brain, want to be efficient. They want to satisfy the experience, not to get to the next, but so that you can move into alignment and then dip into the experience here and there so that you grow. Breathe through your experiences when they get really hard. Just breathe through them. Nothing is right now, but that storage is going to guide you in how you respond and show up in life. Okay. Goodness. They're letting me down right now. They're releasing me. Okay. Cool. Wow. From what I'm intimating from like our last connections right here is that we're very hard on ourselves, and we find that necessary in order to prove our worth to ourselves. And by the time we're ready to prove our worth to ourselves, it's more gratitude than it is prestige, right? So moving into that energy of I will be okay, or everything is always working out for me. And it's going to be more and more because we're shifting more and more as a collective. Our collective consciousness has been aided by the technological advancements that we're experiencing. In this, we could see firsthand pros and cons, and we can see how it's divisible to people, right? And it doesn't have to be. So let's not create that. Let's talk about benefits. Let's talk more about benefits. Let's talk to other people about benefits that we see. Keep your vibration in the offering you want to experience, not at any cost. Get there as often as you can. You'll have it easier. We're all going through a lot of adversity. The adversity that we're experiencing is very divisional and it's very disturbing. For this particular platform, I do a lot of posting about ICE and how to interact with them should you be stopped, and how you don't have to open the door without a warrant, and many different things in that way. I also post about the atrocities and the genocide in Gaza and the ceasefire that I desire in the world, basically. I don't appreciate some things in life, and I'm coming to appreciate things more in life because I'm looking at it through a community lens, a humanity lens, not a how can I get more lens. Is this good for me lens? It's changing. It's changing, and I'm nowhere near where I would love to be. Yet the platform's changing because we're supporting people. People, just supporting people. We're all human. So really getting into our hearts, learning how to communicate with one another, embodying our mind, body, spirit at the same time, being in connection with community, learning from one another, knowing that nobody has all the answers and together we do. Understanding these things are inherent in our bodies, and when it reawakens from the grueling conditioning that possibly we've undergone throughout our life, it is truly a sad awakening, not a bright and joyful awakening. It is something that is tumultuous, that usually drags you down, that you see in another person until you see it in yourself. And it doesn't know color. Superiority doesn't know color. And it comes in every form. So building community is very important to me. And I'm here. I love to support. I love to support people. I like to talk, obviously. Here I am. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So we're just showing love, because that's what I think it's really all about. At least for me it is. And you can come with me on that beautiful Imagine record. I think it's possible. I love you guys. Happy Sunday evening. Have a joyful week ahead. I'll see you Tuesday if you tune in the afternoon at 3:30 for the tarot card pulls. We'll be switching to YouTube only, predominantly moving forward, but in June for sure. We'll move away from our RSS feed and we'll just go direct. And then we have the fair this next Saturday. That's going to be really beautiful. Very excited. A lot of students have donated their time to come and be of service in the fair. So it's going to be a hoot. We have an enchilada lady. We have agua frescas. We have desserts galore. We have vendors, crystals, healers, tattoo artists. It's just going to be a really good experience. And that's this Saturday from 12 to 5. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you next Sunday. Many, many blessings. And thank you for joining me on my journey. I'm very blessed to be in experience of you and with you.